Anyone who has seen my previous video has already met Mr. Bendy over here, the world's most flexible spindle gouge. This thing is so flexible that it makes Chinese Olympic gymnasts look like amateurs. Although I must admit that I may have been misusing this thing, turning down these rather heavy wet logs. So I need something stronger, something a bit bigger, that won't flex and that will just turn down a rough log like this without incident. I have this old file that came with the lathe. It doesn't have a handle anymore and it has been used as a chisel, and I think I can make a spindle gouge from it, or something that at least vaguely resembles a spindle gouge. Some say that using an old file as a chisel can be dangerous, so I will have to do some testing to make sure it's safe to use. It hurts my hand. So there you have it. Scientific proof that it is safe to use this thing. Well, not really, but I'm willing to risk it. With all that safety nonsense going on in the world, it can be fun to live a little dangerously. But seriously, judging by its shortness, I think this file has been used as a chisel for decades. Or it may have been shortened intentionally. Who knows? I do know that the previous owner died of old age and wasn't killed by an exploding file. It is also possible that this thing was tempered to release the stresses, but I don't know how to check that. I wouldn't use this thing if I had a very strong fast spinning lathe, but since my motor has only a bit more power than a highly illegal 100-watt light bulb, it'll be fine. I just wear my lucky safety squints. I'm going to modify this thing with a grinder, and I will try to grind this into a fingernail profile, something like this. And then I will hollow this out, not for the whole length. I might make it a little I might make it a bit smaller, because this thing is pretty wide and I don't know if my lathe will be strong enough. And I'm also round off the underside that rides on the tool rest. The thing here, the tang, has been broken off, and it looks like somebody tried to weld something on there, but I'm just gonna cut a piece out here to make it a bit longer. So I got a lot of grinding to do. So that takes care of the tang, and I'm just noticed the name on here, Norfolk. I'm willing to bet that this thing came out of the UK. It definitely didn't come from China. Well, that's one side of the back more or less finished, and this took at least 15 minutes, so I'm having my doubt about this project. But for now I will push through. Since this side will be riding on the tool post, I will have to remove I have to remove what the file makes a file. With most of the serration gone, I'm going to start rounding off these sides, so it's easier to move the to turn the tool on the tool rest. After an hour it looks like this. It probably looks better than it is. Alright, I'm gonna round off the tip. With the tip rounded off, I need to hollow this out, and that will probably be the difficult part. I'm not gonna hollow it out all the way, just the first 2 or 3 centimeters. No, 3-4 centimeters will be enough. Because if I hollow it all the way, it well, it might weaken the file too much. A long time later, it's starting to look like something that might be usable. Gotta clean it up a little on the inside, and then I will need to grind a edge on it, make a nice bevel. I've been grinding on this thing for a while, but I found a flaw in my project. Since the inside radius is not perfectly parallel with the outside radius, it's very hard to sharpen this thing. Well, I did my best and it feels pretty sharp. I used some small diamond files to take off the burr, because I don't have one of those rounded stones that you can use on the inside of a gouge. So tomorrow I'm gonna make a handle. I've been drying this piece of oak for the last, well, maybe 10 days by microwaving it a few times every day. It held up okay, there are no cracks. It does have a few nasty pits here, but but this is what I'm gonna use to make a handle. I've resharpened old bendy here, and I'm ready to go. I have this old water pipe coupling that I will be using as a ferrule. It's a bit long maybe, but I kinda like it. I already took out the ridge on the inside. I did that on the metal lathe. So I'm gonna turn this down as precise as I can. Hopefully I can fit this thing without any glue. I'm almost done shaping this handle, but this pit here got me a bit worried. It's in the thinnest part of the handle, and well, it might weaken it. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to use this. And I just noticed a crack that wasn't there a moment ago. That's pissing me off. Well, I pushed it too far and fucked it up. And now this thing here, this last part, is a bit split, so I might also have problems drilling a hole. But I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna own up to my mistake. Let it serve as a reminder. I got the ferrule on there. I made this a bit too thin here, but I thought I hammer it on there so I can polish it up. Ooh, shiny. Now I gotta drill a hole in there. The second drill bit I used wasn't running through, so that screwed me a little. Hopefully I got more luck with this drill bit, which should be the final size. Yeah! Fuck! Ah! Well, that didn't go as planned. Hole is really off center now. Here you can see that the hole is off center. Well, at least the ferrule is is well, fitting very nicely. And of course I got my hands dirty, and now I got some oil stains on there. So now I noticed that the rear is splitting up. No brake for me. Some car body filler to fill up the hole before I put in the chisel. Well, I got it completely stuck. Free! And I gotta clean up that stupid body filler. It really always gives you a mess. So here's the finished article. I drenched the handle in raw linseed oil that I normally use to store paintbrushes in. It looks okay, but I'm not really happy with all the fuck-ups. I don't mind the catch I had, or the grease that got on the handle, and I can live with the hole being drilled a bit off center, but I'm really disappointed with the ass and splitting up 3 ways. Luckily it didn't get worse when I hammered in the chisel, and I don't know if you can see this, but the ferrule got pushed a bit oval, so this thing must be really stuck on there now. I should go test this thing, but well, the handle is still drying, and to be honest, I can't risk another disappointment today. So you have to wait till the next video to see this thing in action.